Thank you, Speaker. It's nice to see my good friend, Honorable Ababu Namwamba, who, as you know, is my predecessor as the SG of ODM. And although he has once publicly denied knowing me, Kipetero, I still consider him a friend and political mentor. Bwana CS, in the run-up to the elections in 2017, the then Deputy President made a certain pronouncement on the status of the construction of 9 stadia. I know you have the list that includes Kamarin, the one in Wote, Moyale, Mombasa, Kisumu. Now recently, the country was awarded rights to host, together with our regional neighbors, the 2027 AFCON, which I must say I was pleasantly surprised, because I don't expect much from the current regime. But I was pleasantly surprised that we won that hosting rights. I want to know, now that we got the hosting rights and you announced construction of other stadia for that particular tournament, is it the position of this government that the 9 stadia that were listed, including Kamarin, Wote, Moyale, and the others, are no longer priority for this government and they are not going to be built to the international standards that were promised back then?
Thank you, Senator. Cabinet Secretary, if you can tackle the 2 questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Senator Chute. I can assure you that we were very happy to come to Marsabit. We had a good time. Thank you for being such a fantastic host to us, together the governor and the leaders of Marsabit. And I'm assuring you that we have made all arrangements necessary to complete Marsabit Stadium. We are really looking forward to complete the works and coming to open Marsabit Stadium. As regards the competitions in the wards, yes, I do agree that Marsabit is among those counties. First of all, Marsabit is an amazing county, beautiful county. It's the cradle of humankind, but it has really not been integrated fully in the talent development program of this country. And I'm pleased to inform you that the Talanta Hela Inter-County program that targets under 19 sports men and women, both boys and girls, will be the answer to this program. And we'll be very happy to sit down with yourself, Senator, through the Principal Secretary, Engineer Peter Tom, who is right here with me, to work out programs how Marsabit can take full advantage of this program. My very good friend and brother and successor as ODM Secretary General is Senator Edwin Sifuna. Of course, I do know you, Senator, through the chair. And Senator, congratulations for the good work you're doing as Secretary General of ODM. I want to assure you, Senator, that this current regime will surprise you big time, pleasantly, by performing beyond your wildest expectation. We have our finger right on the desires of the people of Kenya, and we have a president who is not afraid to lead right from the front, both at home and away, as you saw in the European Parliament just 2 days ago. Quickly to the 2 questions, Honorable Speaker. The stadia that His Excellency President William Ruto made a pronouncement on, stadia that started but then stalled. They include this Marsabit Stadium that we were in Marsabit to inspect. They include Wote in Makueni. They include Kamarin. I want to report to this House that we have visited all the 9 stadia. We have made an assessment of what needs to be done, and I'm assuring this House that completion of this 9 stadia is a top priority for the ministry and for this administration. And so our AFCON commitments notwithstanding, we have placed a priority on completion of this stadia. And just to assure this House also that we have every intention to spread the benefits of international competitions across the country. This Saturday, the 25th, we will be flagging off the Sekafa Under-18 football tournament, bringing together 8 countries across the Sekafa region. And this tournament is being hosted in Kisumu and Kakamega. We have also won the rights to host CHAN, the CHAN Championship, which will be hosted in Nairobi and Kakamega. Right now, the Talanta Hela Inter-County playoffs are happening in Nyeri. And so we are assuring you of spreading the tournaments around and making sure that all Kenyans have a chance to partake of this incredible high trajectory of sports under the leadership of His Excellency William Samoei Ruto.
Thank you, CS. The next two questions will be asked by Paul Thangwa on this side and Senator Ole Kina on this side. Very quickly, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would want the CS to elaborate because he has talked about the Talanta tournament. But my question was, we have World Cup where all over the world teams meet to get to know which one is the best. We have African Cup of Nations. All Africa countries get together to find out which one is the best. What about Kenya Cup? Is this the same thing you're talking about as Talanta, where 47 counties should compete to find out which is the best county? Question number 2. You have talked about the stadiums.
Senator
Kiambu,
Thangwa, please, let's...
Yeah, two. You said two questions.
No, one question for you and one question for...
Oh, this is very quick. Basic indulgence. Very quick, Mr. Speaker. Kiambu Kirigiti Stadium. It is all complete. We see it, but it is not open to the public. It is only open for the governor. When he has an event, the governor will do things there. When there's a public event, the governor will do. But the public is not, are not using the stadium. When are you going to hand over and open Kirigiti Stadium?
Thank you. Senator Ole Kina, very quickly, please, and briefly.
Mr. Speaker, my questions will be very brief and to the point. Cabinet Secretary, it is not enough to say that you are making plans. Article 153(4) requires you to submit regular reports on matters, so I would like to request that you do so. But I have two specific questions, and I've jotted them down so that I ask them specifically. One is following up on the question that was asked on behalf of Senator Onyonka on the issue of budgets. And I'd like to know from you, and if you're not able to substantiate now, you can submit to this House, what specific measures are being taken to ensure transparency and accountability in the allocation and utilization of the sports budgets in Kenya? Question number 2, which is also following up on your replies, which I said it's not enough. What specific strategies and initiatives are being implemented to ensure equitable talent development across all 47 counties in Kenya? And how is the Ministry of Sport working to identify and support talented individuals in underrepresented regions? And I ask that knowing that your budget is 6.4 billion.
Thank you, Senator. Cabinet Secretary, very briefly, please, the two questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On the question of Honorable Senator Thangwa, your Kenya Cup is actually the Talanta Hela Inter-County Cup, which is ongoing. The top 16 counties, we have done this countrywide. We started at the regional level. From the regional level, we have gone to the playoffs. They are concluding in Nyeri this afternoon, actually. After this session, I'm headed straight to Nyeri to close the playoffs. From the playoffs, 4 more teams or 4 more counties will join the 12 regional winners. We split the country into 12 regions. So we already have 12 winners of the 12 regions. They'll be joined by the 4 winners of the playoffs for both boys and girls. And we are going to have our own County World Cup, starting on the 3rd of December to the 12th. The finals will be the showstopper at Jamhuri Day, graced by His Excellency the President himself. So that is really something we are developing in that regard. Kirigiti Stadium in Kiambu is one of our top facilities, constructed and completed. There are certain things that need to be sorted around Kirigiti, and I can inform you really that as we close a number of stadia for preparation for AFCON, Kirigiti has been lined up to be among the stadia that is going to be very, very active, while the rest are closed for AFCON. And once the pending issues are sorted out, including the issue of the track, when they constructed Kirigiti, they used tarmac, they used bitumen on the track, which really was not the right thing to do. And it needs to be removed so that you can have the right material on the track. Once all that is done, Kirigiti will be made available for use by the public. That I can assure you. Honorable Senator Ole Kina, I want to make a commitment of providing regular reports. Indeed, we will start by our scorecard for the last 1 year. When we submit the extra information we have committed to submit, will also include a record of our scorecard for the last 1 year to inform the House of what we have been able to do in the last 1 year. In terms of measures taken on transparency, we have been very deliberate. We have become very thorough. I did inform this House, for instance, that in 2022, the Safari Rally project cost the Exchequer 2.5 billion. We refused to spend a similar amount. We reduced that budget by over 1 billion. And we were able to deliver a rally with a budget less 1 billion, which really tells you about our commitment to reduce budgets, to cut budgets. We have also made it very clear to federations that now they have to follow a procedure where you apply for resources according to the regulations of the sports fund, bring your application 6 months in advance. We are putting together a team to do proper screening of budgets. Among the requirements we have placed on the federations is that if you have any extra funding, if you have any sponsorship, you have to disclose it. And I'm assuring this House that on the question of transparency, on accountability, there is absolutely no compromise. And finally, on equity, the equity really is our Talanta Hela initiative. And it is an initiative which is both physical and virtual. Honorable Speaker, through you, Senator Ole Kina can go to his Google App Store right now and search Talanta Hela app. Download that app. Any child or any youth in Narok County who believes they can do football, rugby, anything.
It's okay. There's no engagement. Yes,
I'm informing that it's a platform that we have provided that even if you are in the remotest part of this country, you can interact with this program and we can pick your talent.
Thank you.
But we are also sending scouts physically to those places where we may have challenges with access to this app. We will send scouts physically, and we are recruiting some of our top legends from the past to play this role of scouts. I submit.
Thank you, Cabinet Secretary. The last two questions will be asked by Senator Tabitha on this side and Senator Mazayo on this side. Very, very quickly, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And let me start appreciating the Honorable Waziri for the great job that you're doing. But just to narrow it, Bwana Waziri, as far as Talanta Hela is concerned, in the 47 counties, do you have a data of how many talents you've been able to create in each and every county, in each and every constituency? And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of the Finance Committee. I've been able to look at the feedback that you've given on what Honorable Senator Onyonka had asked in regards to the budget of the WSR. And looking at the budget, you've talked about a cut with 1 billion. Then which makes me ask you, what was the benefit, either directly or indirectly, for the people of Kenya after this rally took place? And as you say that you did cut a budget, your report indicates very clearly that you have pending bills, which is a very big animal in this country. Then how do you justify reducing the budget is 1 billion and mark you still have pending bills for Kenyans in this country? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Stuart Mazayo, very quickly, please.
Asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, swali langu ni moja mawili hivi kwa waziri wa michezo. Waziri, ni mipangilio gani ambao umeifanya kufikia hivi sasa kuona ya kwamba uhusiano wa FKF wale walio ndani ya ofisi hivi sasa na wale former footballers na fans wa mpira, kwa sababu huu ni mambo ya kandanda, watu wengi sana wanapendelea katika Kenya, wana wafuasi wakubwa. Ni mpangilio gani umefanya kuona kwamba uhusiano umerudi? Manake hivi tunavyoelewa ni kwamba uhusiano kufikia hivi sasa bado umezorota sana, hali tukijua kwamba mwezi wa pili utaweza kusimamia kuona kwamba kutakuwa na uchaguzi wa uongozi ndani ya Kenya kuhusikana na kandanda. Swali la pili ni kwamba
Sorry, Senator, swali moja tafadhali, wakati imekwisha.
Kwa kumalizia tu,
wakati imekwisha. Wacha ajibu hiyo tu ndo, because hata kuwa na nafasi ya kujibu.
Shukran.
Cabinet Secretary, you may answer the questions. You only have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much,
within those 5 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, on data of talents, I can inform Honorable Senator Tabitha that indeed we have built, and this is a first in Kenya, we have built a database. I can even make even happier that from the activities going on in schools, we have pipelined or connected all those activities to the Kenya Academy of Sports. After the school ball games in Kakamega, for instance, we invited 2,000 of the best talent from those school games to Kenya's first ever national holiday talent camp. It is from that talent camp that you have seen youngsters now going to play for Kenya in the under-18 Sekafa Championship. A lot of the boys and girls who have been selected for those junior national teams came from that talent camp. Some have even gone to international academies. We have 3 boys right now, Aldrin Kibet, Alvin Kasavuli, Amos Wanjala at the Nastic Soccer Academy in Spain, Louis Ngavi at the Montverde Academy in Orlando, in Florida, in the US. And so we have a good system of not only identifying them, but also progressing them and exposing them to further growth. And right now through the Talanta Hela app, and I would invite the honorable senators to visit the Talanta Hela screening room at Kasarani at the Kenya Academy of Sports. We have data on everybody and everything that we are coming into contact with. And today, if a scout in the UK or in Brazil wanted to know the best dribblers or the best in ball control, we can be able to give them, and we can be able to give them access to the Talanta Hela online system. So we have really upgraded that space of developing talents. The question of the benefits of the Safari Rally markets the country incredibly. The last Safari Rally was the most watched of the 13 series of the WRC Safari Rally. It markets the country and it definitely has incredible benefits in terms of pulling in investment and tourism and just branding the country to that international audience. Pending bills is a challenge, and I want to indicate to this how the pending bills that we have received as a report from the project are not confirmed yet. We are subjecting that report to internal screening, verification and assessment. We will only commit public resources to what is verified and what is authentic, because on transparency, on accountability, there is no compromise. It is absolute zero tolerance to misuse of public resources. Mheshimiwa Senator, ndugu yangu, rafiki yangu Madzayo amezungumzia kuhakikisha kwamba kuna uhusiano bora kati ya shirikisho la kandanda humu nchini FKF na waliobobea zama za kale na vile vile mashabiki wa mchezo wa kandanda nchini Kenya. Nifahamishe Mheshimiwa Senator kupitia kwako Mheshimiwa Speaker ya kwamba kumekuwa na hali tatanishi, kumekuwa na changamoto tele kwenye mchezo wa kandanda hapa nchini. Itakumbuka ya kwamba mwaka mmoja uliopita tu Kenya ilikuwa imepigwa marufuku na shirikisho la kandanda ulimwenguni FIFA, na tulifanya jitihada za haraka sana kuhakikisha kwamba Kenya inarejea kwenye mashindano ya kandanda ulimwenguni. Hivi karibuni timu yetu ya Harambee Stars wamehusika kwenye mashindano ya kufuzu kwenye kombe la ulimwengu mwaka 2026. Timu zetu za kinadada vile vile zinaendelea hivyo hivyo, na ningependa kuhakikishia. Nashukuru Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Sorry, Cabinet Secretary. At this point I will have to interrupt. I thank you, Cabinet Secretary, for your time and for the answers that you've given to this House. Honorable Senators, it is now 1:15 p.m. The time I had directed pursuant to Standing Order 34, 2A, that the House will adjourn. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until today, Wednesday, 22nd November 2023 at 2:30 p.m.
Naam, mtazamaji, kikao cha asubuhi cha bunge la Seneti kimefikia kikomo, na nikirejelea tu machache kuhusu yaliyojiri. Naibu wa Spika Seneta Kathuri Murungi alianzisha na kuendesha kikao. Hapo baadaye alimkabidhi usukani Spika wa muda Seneta Abdul Haji, ambaye sasa ndiye amekamilisha kikao. Naam, waziri wa barabara na usafiri alifika mbele ya bunge la Seneti akakabiliana na maswali kutoka kwa Seneta Mwenda Gataya Mofaya, Seneta Tobiko, Seneta Dr. Halware na Seneta Tabitha Mutinda. Vile maswali kutoka kwa Seneta Thangwa na wengine wengi. Na katika kujibu maswali, Waziri Murkomen aliangazia ujenzi wa barabara mbalimbali humu nchini na pia akaangazia zaidi kuhusu uwanja wa ndege wa kimataifa wa Jomo Kenyatta. Waziri wa michezo na masuala ya vijana pia alifika mbele ya bunge la Seneti, naye alipewa muda wa kutosha na akakabiliana na maswali kutoka kwa Seneta Cheptumo, Seneta Murango, Seneta Olekina, Seneta Tabitha Mutinda na maseneta wengine wengi. Waziri aliangazia kwa kina kuhusu kambi za mazoezi kwa wanariadha, dimba la Talanta Hela, na hapo baadaye pia akaangazia mbio za magari, yani safari rally. Na baada ya Waziri Namwamba kujibu maswali, basi kikao kilifikia mwisho. Kati ya mawaziri watatu ambao tuliwatarajia hivi leo, wawili waliweza kufika. Hao ni Mheshimiwa Murkomen na Mheshimiwa Ababu Namwamba. Na mtazamaji, iwapo ulipitwa na yaliyojiri katika kikao hiki, tafadhali fanya hima utazame kwa tovuti ya YouTube. Unaweza pia kupata nakala ya Hansard kutoka kwa tovuti ya bunge la Kenya www.parliament.go.ke na upate kusoma mengi zaidi. Kumbuka matangazo haya ya moja kwa moja yanaletwa kwako na kitengo cha utangazaji cha bunge, yani Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit, chini ya ushirikiano na KBC Channel 1. Kwa sasa sina la ziada. Hata hivyo, na kuomba usikose kikao cha alasiri kuanzia mwendo wa saa 8:30 hivi. Langu jina ni Busaka Litu. Kwa heri kwa sasa.